Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. Thank you guys very much for being here today. I appreciate it. It's Esme, Mr. Santa, Monica. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you. So yeah, here we are on the Echo Isles. I'm just gonna dive right into these beginning quests because I feel like we target dummies for a while here. They really turned this into like a new player zone when they did the revamp. It starts from like the very basics. Destroy 6 Tiki targets. We are not even ready to go fight real things. We have to warm up on destroying targets. That is how much of a noob we are. Lionheart, good morning. And Santic, welcome to the stream. Mike, welcome. The Chaos, 1988, welcome to the stream. Buffalo Bill, good morning to you. Thank you guys all for being here. A couple things I need to do. I need to get rid of my personal resource display. Towan, good afternoon, buddy. Welcome. Alright, let's change a couple of settings. We need personal resource display can be turned off. We don't need it. Show cooldowns for important spells under your character. What is this? Why does this sound suspiciously like what Weak Auras does? Show cooldowns for important abilities under your character. But, like, isn't your action bar already underneath your character? That was my problem with Weak Auras, was it didn't show me anything I couldn't already see if I just looked 1 inch lower on the screen. I kind of want to see what that does, but I really don't want personal resource display on. Interface is fine. Action bars, we need action bars. Combat, I do want, scrolling combat text. Okay, that's already turned on. Okay, that should be good. Alright, we're gonna retrieve 6 wild mane cat pelts. And apparently that's it. We got Flame Shock. So that's good. I don't think we're gonna be doing a lot of Primal Strike. I'm gonna pop it up here for now. I think eventually we just won't be doing it at all. It feels like an ability that, like, was given back after they unpruned the talents, or unpruned the abilities, but it's not really, like, a useful ability. Auto loot's not on, that's fun. Auto loot. There we go. How's the music volume for you guys? It's a little loud for me. There we go. Guitar Junkie, good afternoon, buddy. Welcome. Demon Dev, good afternoon. Welcome to the stream. Thank you guys all very much for joining me today. if we end up liking the Shaman, if we actually enjoy things, maybe this will be something we can do leading up until pre-patch. So we should have pre-patch on the 23rd, even though they haven't officially confirmed that. But that's like kind of how the dates shake out. And I also found out that I guess Season 4 ends. Like basically Season 4 comes to an end when the pre-patch opens up. Which I kind of took to mean like we wouldn't be able to do raiding for Mythic Plus after the pre-patch opens. If the season ends. I'm pretty sure like ranking and rating can't be progressed after that. Trolls look better in retail. Oh yeah, everything looks better in retail, but trolls look pretty good. The Dark Moon Fair is up and grab my free 16 slot bag. I could do that. That's not a bad idea, but honestly, 32 slot bags are so cheap that I'm probably just going to jump onto my Shadow Priest at some point and just send over some 32 slot bags. Because they cost like 12 gold. It's like they're insanely cheap. In fact, whenever we get by a mailbox, I'm going to do that. I'll jump over and send some bags over. Bass, thanks for being here, man. I appreciate you checking out the stream and hanging out with us. Alright, level 4 got us Healing Surge. We're gonna move that down here. Apparently we have to talk to this guy. I'm assuming we're gonna do some pit fighting. I'm assuming it's more than one round. Oh, maybe we'll do it round by round. Maybe that was it. Yeah, report to Vol'jin. I kind of expected like a Ring of Blood type scenario to play itself out. But that did not happen. The hair animations, yeah. All the animations are really good. And it's not often that you take the time to like watch your character as they do stuff, because usually like this is your only view of your toon, is what you can see from directly behind them. But it's definitely worth it to check out like all their abilities and all their animations, because they put for something that you hardly ever see as a player, they put an incredible amount of work into them. They're all really good. The weird guy, I appreciate that. Thanks for checking out the, I suppose you're talking about the Turtle WoW series. Thanks for checking it out and for hanging out with the stream. Yeah, I've been having a great time in Turtle WoW. It has been a ton of fun. I've enjoyed, it's been really like non-efficient, but I've enjoyed not having questy because I keep finding more and more quests. Like, I think I have the quest, and then like someone lets me know in a YouTube comment, or I'm running through the city and I just like happen to see a quest in the distance. There were a lot more quests than I thought, and I keep finding like new stuff. And I think for me, that's going to be part of the great thing about Turtle WoW, is like I know like a lot of the content's going to be very much the same as what I'm used to once we get into the other areas. But there are going to be more new areas, and there are going to be quests added to the existing zones. So like I'm going to be coming across stuff that I've never seen before, and I like to have that feeling of playing vanilla WoW and doing stuff that I've never done before. It's really crazy. You ever wish like when you were a kid you had like your favorite video game? Like when I was a kid, mine was Final Fantasy VII. And I used to wish that I could like forget my memories of Final Fantasy VII so that I can replay it again and experience it for the first time again. Like it's kind of like a juvenile like wish, but I remember like thinking about that a lot in my teenage years and my 20s. Like, man, I wish I could forget Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy VIII and just play them again fresh. That is what this feels like without me having to forget my original experiences. It feels like I'm playing classic, but it's like it's new. I have no recollection of any of it. It's a really unique feeling. Billy, I'm doing well. Thanks for asking, thanks for being here. Was Turtle WoW easy to install and set up? Yes and no. It was really easy to install and get into it. What happens to a lot of people, and what I keep seeing in the comments, is that they get it set up, they get into the game, and the game looks stretched out, it looks low res, it's really laggy. They go into their settings, and everything seems to be high. And they can't figure out why the game looks like ass. A couple things play into this. When you run Turtle WoW by default, you want to run WoW FOV EXE. WoW FOV EXE fixes the stretchiness and all that stuff. The other thing you want to do is, even if you're playing on a 1080 monitor like I am, you want to go into the resolution and you want to set the resolution to the highest resolution. Then you want to exit the game and go back in. What that does is, when you set the resolution like that in Turtle WoW, it acts the same way that render scaling works. Like render scaling here, you can see I have my render scaling up to a 1440 resolution, even though I'm only playing at 1920 by 1080. In Turtle WoW, you just have to select the higher resolution and then relog. And when you come back in, your game's going to look great. But so is it easy to install? Yes. Is it easy to get it to a point where it looks good, runs good? A little bit more is involved. Also, yesterday, I finally got the vanilla. There's a couple of files that are additional that you kind of have to install on their own. And it's a bit of a process. And those are vanilla tweaks, and vanilla fixes. And a couple of things those do, like those fix the auto loot issue where it gives you auto loot into the game. It fixes like the fact that the client can only use 2 gigs of RAM by default. It can only use 2 gigs of RAM, which is a really low amount of RAM. And one of the fixes allows it to use up to 4 gigs, I believe. And so there's a lot of performance stuff, and like you get a bunch of new advanced options. So like getting a vanilla tweaks and vanilla fixes installed, that took me multiple days to get it to work. It might have just been me. Like, there's a good video that walks you through exactly how to do it. But that takes a little bit of work. I finally got that set up yesterday night after I recorded, and it's worth it. It's worth it to get that set up. Like, you can play without the fixes and without the tweaks. But it really, from my like brief experience with it last night, it's worth it to get that set up properly. So yeah, unfortunately, there's a little bit of setup involved to get it to be optimal. That's going to be the great thing about their 2.0 when they move everything over to Unreal 5. All that stuff, all those fixes, all the tweaks, all the options, all that stuff's going to be in the game by default. So if you think you really want to play, but you're not sure if you want to deal with the setup for the 2.0 client when that comes out is going to be like, it's just going to be plug and play basically. Like, you're going to install it. Everything's going to be there that you need, that you would get from the fixes and tweaks. Yeah, that was my rant about getting Turtle WoW set up. Is like, is it easy? Yes. Is it easy to get it like fully optimized? It takes a little bit more legwork to do that. I guess that's the TLDR. We're done here. I don't need to be farming these guys anymore. But I will say it's worth it. Like, if you like what you see in the videos, if you like the idea of Classic Plus, it's worth it to get it set up. It's worth it to watch the video and get the tweaks and the fix set up. I can speak this morning. I swear to God I can. It's definitely worth it if any part of you desires for Classic Plus. Because keep in mind, like, Classic Plus, like, you're seeing it in Turtle WoW, like, you're never going to get that from Blizz. So this might be the only place in your life that you ever get to experience Classic Plus. You know, we don't live forever. And Blizz has shown no indication that they are working on, thinking about, planning for, or anything to do with any kind of Classic Plus. So this is it, guys. This is your chance. I feel like maybe I could take a raptor. Like, I think maybe there was a raptor I could, like, talk to, and maybe he'd... We'll just make the run. Galarak, good morning, buddy. Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you being here. Alright, kill 8 corrupted blood talon raptors. And kill Najtas and retrieve his orb. Alright, we've also got to rescue some blood talon hatchlings. I will say the negative side effect, if you can call it a negative side effect, of playing Turtle WoW, is I feel like it can easily disenfranchise you to other versions of Classic. You will find other versions of Classic lacking once you have invested like some time in Turtle WoW. If you really like Classic, like if you're just like a Classic Andy, like I am, where you really just want the big long journey, and your idea of Classic Plus is just like new quests, new zones, and not about like upping the level cap. It can leave you feeling a little bit just kind of meh about the other versions of Classic that are currently on offer. Which is why we're playing retail today in the stream. Oh, should I do herbalism and mining again? Herbalism and mining was kind of fun to have on the hunter, and it's like it's bonus XP. So maybe I should grab that again once we get to Orgrimmar, or I guess once we get to town. I think the towns will have profession trainers. Alright, the name guy's up here. What are the odds I can just slap him with a lightning bolt and have him run down to us? Oh, nice, nice. The odds are 100%. The gathering professions always pay off. Yeah, sometimes I feel like it's a distraction from getting the quest done. But, you know, I'm kind of okay with that. It is 3 times the amount of XP for gathering a node than it is for killing an enemy. So I think, like, even if you probably break even with your time investment on it. Like, we could probably just, like, focus quest and we could probably level a little bit faster, but kind of like, it breaks up the monotony. It kind of made me feel like we were playing, like, you know, a more classic version of the game last time we did it, so I'll probably do it again. I kind of like the vibe of, like, sometimes wandering off chasing endless strings of herbs. It's really nice how you don't have to worry about, like, as it skills up, like, what zone you're in or what minerals you're mining. Like, you know, that's what stops me from doing it in other versions of the game, is like, you will leave an area and then suddenly you don't have access to what you need to skill up your profession. This is really nice where, like, it doesn't matter if I come across copper or tin or iron or anything, like, if it's part of the time walking category, I can just mine it. That's what makes it, like, really nice. It doesn't matter where I'm at. What are we doing here? Capture Swiftclaw. Okay, this guy's running around in circles here. Let's cut him off. Well, that didn't work quite like I wanted. Okay, we got him. And now we're taking him somewhere. Steer him back to the raptor pens. Okay. You could hold off on doing professions till 60. A lot of people do that for that reason. See, to me, like, I'm never gonna go back and level up my gathering. I did it one time in my life. On my holy pally that I used to raid on, I went back, like, during Wrath, and I leveled up my herbalism and my alchemy. I went back to the old world, I leveled up the herbalism. It was the only time I ever did it, and, like, I'll never go back and do it. If I can't do it while I level up, then I don't even have any interest in it. It has to be something that I work into, like, questing and everything else. But I'm a lazy person, so it's very much like me to not want to carve time out after I've already hit max level to do it. It's why I'm perpetually broke in the game. I hate these weird, like, Cataclysm era chess pieces. They're so strange. Did that start happening in MoP? I don't know if it was MoP, where we had expansion-specific professions. You know how, like, now you don't have to level it up, you just go learn dragonflight mining and dragonflight blacksmithing. Did that start in MoP? I thought that didn't start till, like, Legion. But again, I never did professions back in the day except for the one character, so I guess I don't really know. It would be nice if that starts in MoP. Because then I might actually, like, do professions in MoP. Was it BFA? I feel like it happened later on, yeah. They should work it back. It's a really, really good way to handle professions. Oh. Yeah, they should put that into Classic. It's a good way to handle professions. It's a good way to make professions accessible to people, like, as expansions come out. It looked like Blizzard took a copyright strike on the Turtle WoW 2.0 video that had over 200,000 views. Wow, how petty of them. That makes sense. Are they going to take a copyright strike out on the Ascension WoW ads that run on my channel? That's funny. It's very petty of them to, like, they'll never go after the server or try to close the server, but they'll do a copyright strike on the video. I wonder, like, what they copyrighted, like, because look, I got tons of WoW content on my channel. Like, I don't really know, like, what they copyrighted. That's a slippery slope to go down. If I were Blizz, I probably wouldn't have done that. And I think if I were Blizz, I'd probably be pretty careful about what I do next. The easiest way to become a villain and to galvanize people against you is to go after something that you don't like, that you've ignored for like the better part of a decade. To suddenly go after something, it's a good way to vilify yourself. And they've already, like, I think Blizz has already had enough like time vilifying themselves. And so if I were them, I would just be careful of what I did next. They're in a really good place with like retail WoW. So that's great. They're not in a good place with classic. So like if they want to keep classic players playing their game, if they care about that at all, they should tread lightly. It'll be interesting to see what happens. It's also like when you take an action like that and you're like an enormous multi-billion-dollar company, it's a sign of weakness. It's such an obvious sign of weakness. Because the point is, like, you saw this thing that looks amazing and suddenly you're worried about it. You're like, oh wow, like this looks really good, guys. Maybe we should be concerned now, instead of like making a good product yourself that like in any way competes. You just go after the competition. We'll see. It'll be an interesting next 6 months or so. See what happens. If they want people to play their game, they should make their game good. That's the real reality. The private servers existed to, like, the problem is this, like, private servers existed originally to fill a gap. And that gap was the fact that there was no classic WoW. That gap was a choice that Blizzard made when they remade the old world, and they took away the ability for you to play in a classic setting. So like originally the private servers were filling a gap that Blizzard was happy to leave. Blizzard would have left that gap forever. Like, it's very lucky that we even have classic WoW at all today. Because remember when they told us that we think we do, but we don't? Like, their mentality was that classic WoW does not need to exist in any way, shape, or form. Blizzard is not an entirely different company today than it was then. A lot of the people there still think that way. There are plenty of people who think that classic WoW does not need to exist because it doesn't make them any money. And it's never going to make them a bunch of money, and so they're never really going to fully get behind classic WoW. So if they want people to play classic WoW, what you have to do is you have to make a game that people want to play. Simply going after the competition, like, you're not going to get those people to come play classic WoW. You're not going to get the people that play Turtle WoW to come play classic WoW. It's not going to happen, and they know that because they're not stupid. So it makes no sense to take actions like this, because when you shut down Turtle WoW, those 3,800 people are not coming to play your game. They don't want to play your game. They don't think you have a game on offer worth playing, and that's why they're playing on a private server. So, like, if your desire is actually not to just stop people from doing what they want, but if your desire is for people to come play your game, you have to start by having a good game that people want to play. It's easy. And like I'm playing the good game right now. Like I like retail. Retail's a good game. I'm playing retail here because right now this is what I want to do. And like the classic versions they have on offer, I'm not interested in. You know, they have Cataclysm Classic. I'm not interested. I've done it all before. And they've got SOD, which I think is awful. And then there's Vanilla, but since they don't do anything to support Vanilla, there are very easy things they could do to support Vanilla and keep Vanilla hype, and they choose not to do it. So I don't play Vanilla because all of the servers are vastly underpopulated, and the economies on those servers are all broken. And so yeah, like, if they want people to play Classic, they have to make a version of Classic that people want to play. And until then, furthermore, the point is that the people playing Turtle WoW are not going to like stop playing Turtle WoW to come play Classic, so they're not losing those people. They didn't lose those people because those people weren't playing Classic to begin with. Yeah, but they don't really get money out of you. They don't really care about your sub. Like, all you do when you pay your sub to play Classic, but they don't care about your sub. Your sub is basically nothing. And so, like, the way they make most of their money is by people buying stuff on the cash shop, by people buying WoW tokens, by people buying cosmetics, by people buying mounts. And from their point of view, like, if you're playing Classic, there is no opportunity for them to sell you anything extra. So, like, they don't really care about you playing Classic, you're paying your sub, whatever. What they really want you to do is they really like you to play retail and spend some money on the cash shop. That's where they make the majority of, like, their actual money. So, like, you know, they are making money off of you. When you're just playing Classic, they are making some money off of you, but it's not the money that they want to be making off of you. You'd pay expansion price for Classic plus X-Spec. That doesn't matter to them. The same problem still exists. Yeah, the same problem still exists. You say you would pay a full box price for Classic Plus. Yeah, absolutely. So would a lot of people. But the problem is, are you also going to be okay with an in-game cash shop? Are you also going to be okay with transmog and with them selling cosmetics on an in-game cash shop? Are you going to be okay with them selling mounts in Classic Plus? Because unless you're also okay with that, they're not going to spend the money to make Classic Plus to sell it to you at a box price, because the box price happens once. And so unless the player base was okay with a cash shop, there's no reason for them to make Classic Plus. Unless you're okay with a WoW token in Classic Plus, there's no reason for them to make Classic Plus. It's a losing proposition. They could just put more resources into retail, they could have people make a few more mounts, a few more cosmetics, and they can make double the money. Like, that's the reality of it. Until and unless Classic has the WoW token and a cash shop, it simply cannot make shareholders anywhere near the amount of money that retail can. And since it can't make them that amount of money, it's never going to get a lot of attention. It's never going to get a lot of developers. It's never going to get, like, a lot of budget. It's never going to get a budget to make content, to make expansions, when they can't promise a return to the shareholders. That's all that it boils down to. So yeah, so think about that. Think about, are you okay with a Classic Plus that has a WoW token and has a cash shop? Because if you're not, then you can believe that most people probably feel the same way, and therefore you're not going to get a Classic Plus by Blizz. It's why there isn't a Classic Plus yet. It's why there are no plans for Classic Plus. Like, Classic has been out for 6 years. WoW has been out for 25 years. If they were planning to make a Classic Plus, like, we would know. You know, there'd be development ongoing. There'd be conversations happening. There'd be surveys going out. And none of that is the case. 8 territorial fetishes. I need to be placing these, but why? Where am I placing them? I'm going to have to read this quest. I want you to place these fetishes on any banners. Okay, so we're looking for banners. Like, maybe these banners over here. These are not the banners we're looking for. Mark, that's awesome, man. Yeah, the couple that plays together, so on and so forth. That's good to hear. You'd be okay with the cash shop? Yeah, like, I don't care about cash shops either, because, like, either way, like, you're not going to get me to spend any money that I don't want to spend. So, like, I don't care if there's a cash shop, and I don't really care if there's a WoW token. But a lot of people do care. A lot of people do care, and a lot of people would be very vocal and very upset, and that's why we don't have those things in Classic era. I can't. If you guys see a banner, you let me know. I haven't come across a banner yet. This is not a banner. I wonder if it's like a cave. Oh, you know what? I bet it's a cave situation. Yeah, maybe it's, yeah. Here we go. Yep, this has got to be it. Those bags are getting full. In the cave. Right. Yes, it was a cave type situation. Here we go. Now we're fine. Interestingly, these were the banners that we saw up top. The same graphic. Your only concern is how the WoW token would affect the economy. How do you think bots already affect the economy? Do you think that's like there's a positive influence there? Because like it doesn't matter. The reality of it is that people that want to buy gold, they're going to buy gold, and if they're not buying a WoW token, they're going to buy it from gold farmers. So yeah, I don't know. Like ultimately, they're going to buy it from gold farmers. That's why there are bots. That's why botting is a huge problem. Mark, thanks for the membership, man. I really appreciate that. Thanks for being here. Jimmy John's delivery. Ooh. That actually sounds good. Yeah, I could eat some Jimmy John's. A Buffalo Bill with the 5 gifted memberships. That's really generous, man. Thank you so much. Welcome to the 5 new people. Thank you guys for being here and for hanging out. I appreciate it. Why are there no other players around? Because in retail WoW, there's like 25 years of content to choose from to level through. So in retail WoW, you have these things called time walking campaigns. And depending on what time walking campaign you choose, that is how you level your character up to 60. And so, you know, people have a lot of options on where they level, how they level. And with people being spread out so much through 25 years of content, you don't come across a lot of people until you're at endgame. Whenever you're in the current content, which right now is Dragonflight, then you come across a lot of people because everyone has to do that most current content. That's the endgame content. But while you're low level, people are just too spread out. That's all that it is. People are very spread out. And for some people, that's a turnoff. But the reality of it is this part of the game is a small part of the game. When you're playing Modern WoW, most of the time you spend on your character is going to be after level cap. Your journey to get to level cap is only going to be about 35 to 40 hours. It could even be 20 hours depending on how you level, what your level of expertise with the game is. And then the majority, like you're the 200 or 300 hours on your character, like that's going to be at endgame for the most part. And that's where you're going to see all the people and meet your friends and find your guild and all that good stuff. Alan was taken. Thank you for the membership, man. I really appreciate that. I appreciate you being here and hanging out with us today. It's the end of an expansion, so it's quiet. That could factor into it's the end of an expansion, and we have pre-patch coming up. So, like a lot of people right now. Oh, also keep in mind, we have this little thing going on right now called Mista Pandaria time running. Mista Pandaria time running is like an alternate way to level up your retail character with a different rule set within the Mista Pandaria zones. And so a lot of people who are leveling up right now are doing Mista Pandaria time running, which I don't enjoy it, so I don't do it. And a lot of people are probably waiting for the pre-patch to hit to level up, because pre-patch is going to bring with it a lot of leveling changes. So yeah, lots and lots of factors. What are we doing here? Speak with Vol'jin. Okay. I don't... Oh, there he is. There he is. Whitney, I did not. Let me scroll back up. Boop, 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 boop. No, I completely missed it. I was probably just like flat out ranting, and now I can't even find it. Chat's moving fast for me today, which is a blessing and a curse. I love it because you guys are excited and there's a lot of you here, but I do tend to miss stuff sometimes. Vol'jin was such a good character. Like, what a waste of Vol'jin. Such a good character. Such a great war chief. You could say I was rambling. Yeah, I definitely was. Quite a few times this morning already. I think Vol'jin was probably the best war chief, honestly. I think Thrall was kind of a crap war chief. Obviously, like, Sylvanas didn't cut it. Oh no, I'm not supposed to attack her. Oh! Shoot. I don't think I'm supposed to attack her. I have a feeling that I'm supposed to fight the ads and let our boy Vol'jin take care of the rest. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Garrosh was your favorite war chief? Yeah. Well, Garrosh was set up to fail. Garrosh was the war chief that literally told Thrall, like, hey, don't make me war chief, bro. I can't be war chief, don't do it. And Thrall was like, nah, you'll be fine. Just be war chief, your dad was war chief, you can do it. It's like, dude literally told you he didn't want the job. Don't give him the job if he tells you he doesn't want it. We lose Zuni here, don't we? We lose our buddy. So I think... Yeah, like, I don't know if I'm supposed to fight her. I think I'm supposed to be on ad patrol. Mike P with 5 more gifted memberships. Thank you, buddy. I really appreciate that. Incredibly generous. You guys are being really generous today. Welcome to the 5 new people. I appreciate you guys being here and hanging out with us today as we level up an elemental shaman in modern WoW. Oh, here we go. Now we got ads. She's drawing power from the fires. Stamp out the braziers. Braziers? I did it again. We figured out how to say this before, and now I've forgotten. The braziers? Braziers, not brazier. Brazier. Okay, we stomped them out. However we pronounce them, we did it. I think maybe I can attack her now. I don't like that she's looking at me. No, I don't think that I should be attacking her. Oh dear God. Oh no! Eventually, this is like the hardest boss in the game. It takes only one spell gets aggro on her. And once you've got aggro on her, she just kills you. It's good. It's fine. Garrosh was innocent? No, he's not innocent. No, he still did all the stuff he did. You're not... Just because someone set you up to fail doesn't make you innocent. No, like... No, he's not innocent. Not at all. Not by any stretch. Thrall is culpable. But Garrosh is still guilty. Yeah, just because somebody sets you up to fail doesn't mean you're not responsible for your choices. That's a really cool healing wave effect. A healing surge. Oh, that's really cool. Okay, so guys, never attack this enemy. All you do here is wait for ads. If you attack the enemy, you will die. This dude goes after the fires and she just kills him. Like, we went after the fires and she did nothing. He's like, I got the fires, and she's like, zap. Dude's just gone. Level 7. RIP. I'm assuming that I still can't attack her. I'm terrified to cast a spell against her now. She's killed me twice. But she does. Maybe she's stunned now. Yeah, she looks like maybe she's stunned. Maybe this is okay. There we go, we did it. 20 minutes later, we completed the quest. This is him avenging his father? This was the quest where Vol'jin avenged his dad? This was handled in a level 7 starter zone quest? What? With no voice acting or anything? Oh my god. They did our boy Vol'jin bad. They did him bad. He didn't get any like real story beats. This was like his redemption, and like this was it. He was... Oh man. I don't even know who this person is. Zira. Oh man, that's tough. Maybe somebody can tell me this. Maybe we have like a shaman player out there from retail that could tell me, as a shaman, do I use totems at any point? As an elemental shaman, am I going to be dropping totems? Or are totems like not really a thing? Or are totems like cooldowns? Should have been a raid or at least a 5-man. Yeah. It would have been nice if that was like a 5-man story, like a dungeon story, like told throughout the dungeon, and then like maybe with some voice acting would have been good. Did a little bit of voice acting for a pivotal character moment. I thought like, I guess he's kind of like a B character. I mean, he becomes war chief. That kind of makes him an A character for a while. But then he dies, so maybe he was always a B character. Are totems situational now? I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. I know that on my enhancement shaman, I don't think I ever really laid down any totems, but I always kind of felt like I was doing it wrong. There are a few totems for each spec that are pretty good to have in the rotation. Some. Okay. So sometimes... are they more like cooldowns? Do they function more like situational cooldowns? Yeah, me either. When I played enhancement, my other shaman's enhancement, and I never even laid Wind Fury down. Like every once in a while I'd lay it down, but like mainly I just ignored totems completely. Mainly I just ignored it. Report to Master Gardren at Senjin Village. Okay, I know there's like travel aspects here where I could like click on somebody and they would just take me somewhere. I'm just like, I'm not paying enough attention to find those opportunities. So I think I'm just going to make the run. We'll travel the old-fashioned way. Austin, you got Keystone Master Season 1 Dragonflight and you don't remember using totems. Yeah, maybe they're just like, maybe they can help, but maybe they're not like essential. I'm fine with that. I don't want to have totems. I don't want to have to manage totems. I don't want to have to set up a totem loadout. Like, if there are some totems that function more like cooldowns, that's absolutely fine. But yeah, I'm happy because I don't really want to manage totems or deal with totems too much. For some reason, like, totems are the part of Shaman that I don't like, which is funny because that used to be like a cornerstone of their class. But yeah, I always hated laying them down every combat. And then, like, it was worse back in the day because, like, you couldn't even retrieve them. But then even once you had the button to lay them down, oh, lay them down, retrieve, lay them down, retrieve, lay them down, retrieve. Oh my god. For some reason, it just really annoyed me. It's more buttons to push. Yeah, it's more buttons to push. Right. Chase, is this retail? This absolutely is retail. Yeah. We're a sand troll. Like, this skin color is like a kind of like a retail exclusive thing, I think. I don't think you can make a sand-esque troll in any other version. Yep, we're doing a Horde side retail playthrough. Because I realized, like, every single character I played in retail for the past, like, year and a half has been Alliance side. So we've gotten to see, like, a lot of the zones with the new view distance and with the new lighting on the Alliance side, but we haven't seen a lot or anything on the Horde side, so that is what we're doing. And if we like the Shaman, if we dig this class, which I hope we will, we have enough time, we can just work on it up until pre-patch comes out. We got Time Walking next week. We have the pre-patch supposedly the week after that. So it could be something to do to kind of bridge the gap between now and when the War Within comes out. Have I ever considered doing a WoW challenge character for retail? By like challenge character, what do you mean? Like an Iron Man run or something like that? This guy was not here a minute ago, okay? I'm not going crazy. He literally just appeared before our eyes. Yeah, the retail playthrough won by like 15 or 20%. It won by a substantial margin. And honestly, like, if I'm being honest, like, I'm getting my fill of classic playing Turtle WoW right now. So I'm happy to be here doing this and hanging out with you guys. Marson, good afternoon, buddy. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for being here. Yeah, the Green Man, Tin Man, or Iron Man. No, I never really thought about it. Maybe someday. I did so much hardcore in Classic that I'm, you know... And I really don't know, like, how interesting it would be for people. And also, like, let me say this, like... Trying to do an Iron Man run and then getting into current expansion content is not gonna work. Like, I've leveled enough characters with shitty gear going into Dragonflight to know that, like, if I don't get good gear in the current content, like, you just can't kill stuff. Like, I remember taking my Warlock to the Azure Span, like, getting into Dragonflight, not doing any dungeons, not having any good gear, getting into Dragonflight, going to the Azure Span, and trying to do, like, basic quest on my Warlock, and just getting my butt kicked, like, left, right, and center. And so I imagine if I had no gear on, like if I had like white gear, like then I don't even know if I'd be able to kill stuff. It's maybe it would be interesting. It might be interesting as, like, you know, if you want to watch me in pain for like long periods of time, but I don't know if it would be enjoyable. Maybe we can even test it out sometime. Like maybe when we ding a character up to 60, we go to the vendor and we buy some white gear, and then we go to Dragon Isles and try to kill anything. And I bet that we die. I bet if we hit level 60, put on some white level 60 gear from a vendor, go to the Dragon Isles and try to fight anything, we probably die. Yeah, I think doing it up until 60 would be okay, but I don't know if it would even be possible in current content. Do I play all forms of WoW, even endgame raiding and retail? In retail, I do Mythic Plus for my endgame stuff. So yeah, I got lots of Mythic Plus on my Shadow Priest, on my Paladin, a little bit on my Mage. I don't really raid. I do some LFR, but no, I'm not in a guild in retail, so I don't have the opportunity to do like raids. So Mythic Plus is my endgame. And for War Within, we'll see. I would like to join a raiding guild for War Within. If I can find a guild that raids like weekend mornings or afternoons, this is what I really need. I need a guild that raids weekend mornings or any time during the day during the week. I just need to find a guild that raids when I normally play. Whereas a lot of guilds raid in the evening on weekdays. And I really don't want to raid in the evening on weekdays. I want to raid during the times that I normally play, which is like early afternoon or morning time. Anytime from like 10 a.m. Anytime from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. would be a great time for me to raid. So I'd like to find a guild that does that, but I feel like that's probably uncommon. He made a marble run, Amy? Like, where'd he even get marbles from? I didn't know we had marbles. Make sure he knows not to eat them. They're not candy. Yeah, see, to me, it's not about a weekend or weekday thing. Like, to me, it's not about a weekday or weekend thing. Like, I sleep in every day anyway because I'm a lazy person. It's the thing is I just don't have my full energy, and I just don't like playing a lot in the evening on any day. Cause I just like I'm old, so like I get tired, I get cranky, I get irritable. In the evening time, I just like to relax. I don't really want to raid in the evening time. It's not even like a weekday versus weekend type of situation. Oh, from one of those crates. Okay, okay. Well, that's cool. It doesn't sound too bad. I haven't noticed anything too bad yet. Well, I think for a lot of people, evening is their only WoW time because, you know, a lot of people have these things that you guys call jobs. So I think for a lot of people that just makes sense. You know, you get off work, you play WoW. Like, get out of school, you play WoW. Your kid goes to bed, you play WoW. Like, I think for a lot of people that makes sense. But like, since I play WoW during the day, like that's when I play WoW. That's when you guys are here to hang out with me. So like, when I'm streaming in the evenings, like less of you guys can show up. And for me, it's just not a super fun time because usually I just start to get tired. Yep, I gotta find my guild of old retired people who play during the middle of the day, and they raid during the middle of the day. And then like I don't think I would do mythic raiding. I'd like to do like heroic raiding. If I can get up to doing heroic raiding, if I can do heroic raiding and mythic plus 5-mans, I think I would be pretty happy with that overall. You'd think there'd be a profession trainer here somewhere. Oh, maybe there is. Riding trainer, there's an herbalism trainer. We can at least grab herbalism. I don't see like a mining trainer. But yeah, let's grab herbalism. Oh wait, do you have a quest? Oh, you had a quest. You're the riding trainer. Herbalism trainer is this way. All right, there we go. Yeah, it's hard to find a raiding guild that raids midday. Yeah, it would be. Yeah, I probably have more luck with like weekend mornings or like weekends during the day. So like finding a raiding guild that raids in the middle of the day during the week is probably going to be a tough one. We have inventory issues. Okay, do we have a mailbox here? We do have a mailbox. I am going to pop over to my Shadow Priest, and I am going to send myself some 32 slot bags. Let's go ahead and we'll empty our inventory first. Must be boring to be a riding trainer in retail. Nothing at all to do. Right. Or a class trainer or any kind of guy. Yeah. Only the profession trainers are people that get talked to ever. So you don't use your class trainer or the mount trainers. Just gonna sell everything. Alright, is this an inn? It's not an inn, which is a little bit weird, but let's switch over. Would a retail hardcore run even be feasible? A hardcore run would, just a run where you don't die. I mean, sure. It would be almost impossible to do like a Iron Man or a Gray Man run. But you could try to do a hardcore run in retail. Honestly, I die more in retail than I do in classic. But you could definitely do it. I think if you just did the Cataclysm time walking like what we're doing and you stuck to the old world zones, you'd probably be okay. Like once you got into like the Dragon Isles or whatever the current content is, then you're much more likely to get killed. Okay, bags. 32 slot bags. You're very confused with the crafting at the moment. The crafting at the moment is confusing. They did a complete professions revamp for Dragonflight, and like they added a lot of really cool ideas, but unfortunately they also made crafting super confusing. Like I don't even understand it still. I'm looking for containers. I'm looking for bags. Here we go. Let's just get 4 of these. Alright, there we go. And I guess it would have helped to remember the special character that I used in my character's name. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check the login screen really quick. Pretty sure I had to use a silly, like, special character. I used an A with a triangle above it. Professions are getting fixed in the War Within? Are they? I haven't really seen anything like that. I think they need to, like, simplify them a little bit. I think that's it. I hope that's right. Yeah, I haven't seen anything about professions yet. I should check that out. I would say, like, if you came back for War Within, depending on what was the last expansion that you played through, I would kind of, like, temper some of my expectations, because keep in mind, like, Chris Metzen came back to Blizz, but he came back long after most of War Within would have been made already. So, like, I don't know how much, like... from what I understand, like War Within still feels a little bit like Dragonflight. But as far as things like class design and like in-game features, they've been doing a good job on the retail side of things of listening to players. Now when it comes to like the overall vibe and the overall like tone of, say, the story, you know, maybe not so much. It still probably is going to feel very much like a Dragonflight-esque like story. Except the one thing I heard was that the story feels like more cohesive. It flows together better and it like makes more sense as a whole. Whereas the Dragonflight story was like kind of like really disjointed feeling. It didn't feel good as like a main progression narrative. Shadowlands was the last one. If the last thing you played was Shadowlands, then you're probably going to be extremely happy with War Within. Yeah, absolutely. If you played Shadowlands and you were like, I am done, this is garbage, you weren't wrong, and you'll be much happier with War Within. Absolutely. This is a good time to go like play some Dragonflight. Depending on like how much you care about the story and lore and stuff like that, there's like some tidbits you can pick up from Dragonflight that are going to be important for the War Within. For the Scorpions, I need to lay down this totem, but they have to poison me, I think. So I kind of have to let him do his thing. I'm pretty sure he has to poison me for me to get credit for this. Okay, maybe we won't be able to do this quest. Like, I can't make the mob use an ability. He has to use an ability on his own. The only good thing in Shadowlands was Torghast. I never did a lot of Torghast. I didn't like the aesthetic of it. I think I'm gonna like the Delves a lot more. Well, there we go. Now we got the poison. I tanked that guy for a while and he didn't do the ability. I gave him a long time. I felt like I gave him more than enough opportunity. The second guy we fought, he did the poison pretty early. Okay, I can't even really melee them. See, these guys are doing it really fast. That first Scorpion, like something was wrong with him. Maybe he didn't have poison glands because he did not poison us, and these guys did it really quick. Yeah, I think something was wrong with the first guy. Maybe he wasn't feeling good. See, some people hate Torghast. Torghast is like a love it or hate it type of thing. There's no middle ground feelings. You either love it, hate it, or never played it. Yeah, I didn't engage with the legendaries at all in Shadowlands. Yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't engage with it. This is someone who didn't play like any endgame Shadowlands. Shadowlands was not a great expansion for me. I don't know if it was a great expansion for anybody. The only good thing to come out of Shadowlands was Zereth Mortis. I did think the 9.2 patch area was a really beautiful area with like semi-interesting stuff to do. Like, I came back for that. I played the 9.2 stuff. I played through the story campaign. I did some of the world content, and it was a great area. Did I like the mask runs in BFA? I don't even know what that is. I hardly play beyond like leveling up a character. I hardly played BFA. BFA was the expansion where I had to hard quit raiding. Like, I started to try to raid in the very first tier. I realized that I was traveling too much for work, and I just couldn't be there for any of the raids, and I had to basically quit. And then Classic came out during BFA. So like I was able to just to like shift over and start playing Classic. But yeah, I didn't do really anything in BFA besides like the core campaign. Mr. Santa, thanks for being here, man. I appreciate you hanging out. We'll see you next time. Alright, we dig by discovering this area. And we got lightning shields. Surround yourself with a shield of lightning for 1 hour. Melee attackers have a 100% chance to suffer 5 nature damage. Only 1 elemental shield can be active at a time. Okay, so this doesn't have charges. This just stays on us all the time. I wish there was a glyph to not have the lightning ball. Does the lightning ball stay around me the entire time? That may get low-key annoying. We'll see how that goes. This doesn't do a lot for me. I kind of don't even want to look at the lightning ball. I kind of don't even want to look at it. You play a lot of retail, but you never take the time to look at the animations. Yeah, that's how like most people play that way. Like, most people play that way. Most people, this is usually the only view you get is this. The only reason that I started doing other views was for making content. Like, the only reason I got used to, like, panning my camera and checking things out was to kind of, like, add some variety to the angles that we get in the content, like, back in the recorded videos and stuff like that. So I kind of developed a habit of, like, checking out the animations and all that stuff. Otherwise, I never would have looked either. I would have just played from this view for the rest of my life, and, like, I wouldn't really care. But yeah, they put a lot of work into the animations, and all the animations are really, really good in retail. Final Fantasy XIV has a button that you press. I think it's V that flips your camera. And so, like, in FF14, you press a button and it just, like, boop, it flips your camera to, like, a front view, which is cool, like, while you're running or while you're fighting, to, like, watch the character do animations. And I think a button like that would be really cool in WoW. Just a button I press to flip my camera, so that I don't have to manually operate the camera to see the front of my character. Perfect, perfect, perfect. There's an item we need here, but it looks like that mage just grabbed it. Oh, here it is. It respawned really, really fast. So we need a few more troopers. Not these guys. Actual troopers. Oh, and see, look, we are running into other people. We are actually running into other players. Which is kind of a surprise, actually. And Santic, thanks for being here, man. I appreciate you hanging out. We'll see you next time. So I heard that with the War Within pre-patch, we are going to be unlocking dynamic flight at level, wait for it, level 10. At level 10 in the War Within pre-patch and beyond, we will be opening up dynamic flight at level 10. So that's interesting. Yeah, the cool thing about the transmog change in the War Within is that you'll finally be able to collect looks for armor classes that you don't wear. So like, if we were playing this character in the pre-patch, all the leather, all the cloth, all the plate that we come across, we would be adding that to our overall transmog book. And so like, I've never been one to go back and do like old raids for transmog or stuff like that, but it kind of makes me want to. Since like no matter what armor type I loot, it'll just go into my collection for like any future characters. It's a really huge change, and like I'm not a transmog farmer, but I can definitely see like going after some cool sets, knowing that I can collect like whatever items I come across. It's a really good change. It's gonna work for anything. Yeah. It's gonna work for like anything. So like you're just gonna be collecting like all the appearances as you level a character, regardless of what their armor type is. It's gonna be really good. It's always sad when you have a character and they have an armor type that you don't typically play. Like for me, it would be leather. You get on I get on like a leather character and like I don't have any transmog. I don't have any looks at all really for my leather characters because I so rarely play a character that wears leather. And so it'll alleviate issues like that. I'm definitely just like chasing herbs now. So the tier sets, they are fixing tier sets too. So like tier sets that you can't use, they become an account tradable item, and you can like put them in your warband bank, and then you can just pull it out of your warband bank from a character that can use it, and then you can learn the look on that character. Like I'm pretty sure that's how they said they were handling tier set pieces. You wish they would lower the cost of gold for changing the look on your gear. Yeah, hey, me too, man, because I am always broke in this game, and I like to change my transmog like every day. So when I'm paying 400, 500, 600 gold a pop to change my transmog, I feel your pain. Yeah, it's crazy to me. Like, I understand that the economy in WoW is like really inflated, but there are players like me who, like, I still haven't bought a WoW token, and I still haven't figured out how to make money in the game. And so I'm still always broke. So yeah, I would like for them to lower the cost of transmog as well. That would be great. Currency trading, yeah, being able to share your time walking badges amongst your warband, like that's huge. Make it free like Remix. Yeah, it's hard to make an argument for it not being free. Like, the game has a lot of gold sinks. And people have a lot of gold usually, but some people don't have gold. And so I think it would be okay to not have a cost associated with transmog, or have that cost be like negligible. I don't think transmogging your stuff needs to be a gold sink. You know what I mean? Like, looking badass shouldn't need to be a gold sink. It should be something you do at your leisure. Yeah, because right now they want it to be an actual gold sink that people like dump money into. But it doesn't hurt the people that have lots of money at all. Like, it's not even a significant gold sink if you have a ton of money. But it's really impactful for people like me. And a few other people who, like, you know, you have like some gold, but you don't have like infinite stores of gold. So what's going on here? I feel like maybe something has happened. Yeah, some kind of PvP has occurred, and I am pretty sure my quest givers are dead. Pretty sure my quest givers are dead. Don't know what the respawn time is on a quest giver these days. So I guess we'll run out and we'll do a little bit of herbing while we wait and see if they're going to respawn. Or if they're just going to keep being farmed. So, yeah, we'll see. Oliver, I appreciate that, man. Thanks for saying so. Thanks for being here and checking out the stream. Alright, let's swing back to town. Maybe the quest givers will be alive? Maybe not. If they're camping them, then perhaps we'll just move on to Razor Hill for now. It's not like we're gonna outlevel the quest, like we can get them turned in whenever we want. The animation for gathering herbs looks like churning butter. Churn, butter, churn. Churn, butter, churn. I churned butter once in my life. As a kid, we went to like some Americana history exhibit place, and they had us like sit in a circle and we churned some butter. And like I don't really remember anything else about that day, but for some reason like churning the butter will always stick in my head. Alright, they're alive. Perfect. Was that it? Was that the only one? No. We've got a couple other people who are not alive yet. Yeah, we're still missing Gadrin. And I feel like we're missing somebody else. Some people are still dead. For Chromie at level 10, we're just doing Cataclysm time walking. Yeah, I like to level up in the old zones. That's the way that I like to level up. Just level up in the old world. We just pick zones that we think we want to see, and we just go to them. And so I want to do the Barrens. I want to do some questing in the Barrens. I think I want to check out Desolus on this character. Feralus is also really nice. And then maybe we do like Winter Spring. But yeah, I like every time I try to do a time walking, like Legion or Warlords, like I just lose interest in it. A lot of them are very like heavily scripted. I feel like anytime past like Pandaria, like the only good way to experience the content of an expansion is like when the expansion comes out. And like once the expansion is dated, like, and the story is no longer relevant, it just isn't really that enjoyable to me. I've tried to level up in Legion several times and have fallen out of it. I tried to do a couple of Warlords of Draenor levelings and I fell out of them. It's better for me just to do the old world stuff. But that's a good reminder, I do have to talk to Chromie, like, at some point, to set us on that path. John, that's awesome, man. You still got money left over from the Long Boy. Yeah, that's a good, like, silver lining. Like, didn't get the Long Boy, but have, like, millions of gold. That'd be cool. Lowry, thanks for being here, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with us for a bit. Your friend was at the gold cap after already buying a Long Boy. That's really something. I don't know whether to be impressed or worried, but I think it's like a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B. I'm impressed and worried for your friend. I hope he just bought a bunch of WoW tokens. How much real-life money would a person have to spend in order to artificially hit gold cap? I wonder how many real-life dollars in WoW tokens you would need to buy to get yourself to the gold cap. You can't pay him back. Listen, as long as he's at cap, you can't pay him back. So like, forget it. But there's no way to pay him back. Are they going to increase the gold cap with the War Within, with you having like the warband bank and stuff? I wonder if they're going to increase the gold cap. Maybe one day I'll have gold. Maybe in the War Within when I'm like really focusing on progressing one character. And I'm doing professions, and I'm doing endgame stuff, and I'm doing world quests, and like maybe when I'm really focused on one character for a long time, maybe then I will figure out how to make any money at all in this game. That'd be cool. All right, we got quest givers alive for the moment. There we go. That's level 10. Level 10, and we can mount. Let's. Talent points, we are going elemental. Oh look, the elemental icon is a troll. That's cool. Troll, orc, shaman. Is this the same if you're like if you're an alliance side shaman? Are these different? Or does it still show like all horde races? Even if you're an alliance side shaman. I guess I could look on my Draenei. I don't remember. Okay, cool. 1 point. What do we want to grab here? A chain heal. Okay, frost shock maybe. Maelstrom weapon when you deal damage with a melee. We're not going to be doing a lot of melee. Maximum HP increased by 10% when you were at full HP. Reincarnation cools down 75% faster. Could be good. Increase all fire and frost damage. Let's grab that one first. We got Dungeon Finder unlocked. I didn't know that, I didn't know we got Dungeon Finder at level 10. That's interesting. What else? There's an herb back here. And then we need to find like a normal looking mount. Something relatively normal. Like the wolves are always good. Oh, that's really cool. Let's go with that. Is it worth it at the start of a new expansion to take gathering professions and to sell those on the auction house? Like, do you make any money these days by doing it that way? Because that would be cool. I would be down to do that. I don't really know if I want to bother with a production profession in War Within, because the production professions have been made like overly complicated by the different skill trees and stuff like that, and I just really don't know if I want to deal with it. I don't really want to have to watch a bunch of videos to learn how to do the professions, so I was thinking like maybe I just do mining and herbalism and just like sell everything on the auction house, if that's even some way to make money. Prices are down, but they'll go back up. Yeah, I would assume that maybe they would tend to be the highest at the beginning of an expansion, then maybe they would decrease over time. That's what we'll do. That's what we'll plan to do. We'll do mining and herbalism, and I'll just see like if I can make any money at all selling stuff on the auction house. It'll also give us like bonus XP, which is, you know, that's a good thing. Although we're going to be doing like all the side quests, we're going to be doing everything, so we're not really going to need the experience. But it'll be nice to have anyway, I suppose. Did I unlock new abilities at level 10? Well, we got into our talent tree, and I got Ghost Wolf form. I don't know if I learned anything else, but let's take a look. Yeah, I did. It turns out I learned Lava Burst. That's going to be useful. I got Chain Lightning. Put that over here for now. And I got Reincarnate. What else? That looks like it's it, but that's huge. Yeah, they usually, it's funny because like most of the time they just throw stuff on your bar, but then like every once in a while you have to go into your spell book. So yeah, we got Lava Burst. 2-second cast, 8-second cooldown, hurls molten lava at the target, dealing 60 fire damage. The Lava Burst will always critically strike if the target is affected by Flame Shock. Okay, so we do want to put a Flame Shock out first. And then we want to Lava Burst. Reincarnate is passive. Oh, it is passive. And if I could read, I would know that. Thank you. I don't think I'm going to use Primal Strike at all. I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of that. Doesn't seem necessary. Like, honestly, Lightning Shield, I'm probably never really going to use Lightning Shield. I just kind of find it really annoying to look at. So I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to get rid of that too. That's going to make somebody mad, but it's okay. Max, thanks for being here, man. I appreciate that. Thanks for hanging out with the stream. We're chill most of the time around here. Sometimes during Mythic Plus, things can get a little tilted. But probably not as bad as most people on the internet. I feel like even when I get tilted, I'm like still pretty tame. But sometimes during Mythic Plus, the number of F-bombs is increased like 100%. Sometimes up to 600%. Let's see, let's go down here first. No, I don't think it ever gets that bad. I don't think I ever get that bad. I swear a little bit more. I try to make it, when I'm tilted, I try to at least make it entertaining. So that it's not just me being like genuinely angry. Usually I'm trying to like add some kind of entertainment value to it. Just to make it more bearable. And like most people who get irate, I often feel like I have a good reason to be irate during the moments when I am irate. It feels like it's always justified. Yeah, I'm just like chasing herbs right now. You know what? I know there's a quest for the elementals. And I know there's a quest for the peons. Yeah, lost in, I need to go back. I missed a quest. Even with all the quests being marked on my map, I still managed to miss one. You know what? That's not the quest I'm thinking about. This tower quest, he just has us spy out a bunch of people. So now I don't know. Now I'm not sure where the quest for the water elementals comes from. And then there's also like the half-drowned orcs that are laying on the beach. There's a quest for them somewhere too. This guy just has us using a spyglass and like look around the zone a little bit. We can do this now since we ran back over here just to get it done. But this was not what I was looking for. Oh man, this is the first time I've been in the Barrens after they increased the view distance and they fixed the lighting in Dragonflight. Look at, oh my gosh. Look how far we can see. That's crazy. Look at how far off we can see. Wow. That's really quite something. Alright, dude, get out of my thumbnail shot. You're bombing my thumbnail. Oh, you disappeared. Good, good. This is not really the best angle. Here we go. Alright, that'll work. Yes, he used the spyglass. Okay, let's click the spyglass 4 times. I used to think that we had to face in the proper direction and then click the spyglass. As it turns out, your directional facing has nothing to do with it. You just keep clicking the spyglass over and over again. There's not really any gameplay involved. Alright, there we go. Alright, back to what we were doing. Well, I mean, luckily you live in a time where you have other options. Yeah, everyone's allowed to have their own opinions on things. Yeah, just be lucky to live in a time where you have different versions of WoW to play. Because, you know, 6 years ago, you would have just been stuck with whatever version of WoW existed, or you just wouldn't play WoW. So, yeah, it's a good time to play WoW, because if you don't like one version, there is probably a version out there that you do like. How long it will stay that way, who knows? Personally, I really love the animations and the character models. I think that the amount of detail they're able to get into the characters is awesome. I think the amount of character customization that I'm able to do for my character is amazing. Like, my character can actually look unique, and it won't look like a clone of somebody else's character by accident, because there are just so many different ways to customize. And I think the more ways people have to customize their characters and make them unique, the better. It would be nice if Classic could add in some more customization options that are like in keeping with the graphics of the time. They don't need to up the graphics, but I think that like giving people more variety in how they customize their character would be good. Because your options are just like very limited. Yeah, see, there's a way to get this quest, I just don't know what it is. Same thing with these water elementals. Maybe it chains off of a different quest. Maybe it chains off a different quest. When is it going to be a classic vanilla stream again? I don't know. I don't really have any plans right now. Apparently my dogs are going crazy upstairs. No, right now I'm getting my classic fix in Turtle WoW right now. And I'm playing Turtle WoW over on my second channel, which is Rambles Gaming. So if you want some classic action, I would highly recommend checking out the recorded series over on my second channel. Because a lot of my classic playing is probably going to happen on Turtle WoW for the foreseeable future. We've got War Within pre-patch coming out in a couple weeks, and I'm going to check that out. And in the meantime, we're going to probably play this character. I might pop back on the classic warrior, you know. Sometimes I like to add some variety to the streams, so it's a possibility that we pop back on there, but no plans to like super focus on that right now. Let's see this animation. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like how we rip it out of the earth. Like turn it into molten and then fling it. That's a pretty cool spell effect. Very nice. I love like how she seems to struggle with it, like as she coalesces it, like she seems to struggle with it. Like she looks at her hands like, what's happening to me? And like kind of like struggles with the spell for a minute. I think that's a really cool touch. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the animations look sick. They look absolutely incredible. I think a lot of people don't take the time to kind of like pan their camera around and really like look at what's going on with the animations. So, like depending on your point of view, like with the camera, like they're more or less impressive. But if you actually look at the animations, they're really amazing. Like so much goes into the animation, from like the movement of the character to the spell itself to the facial animations and reactions. Like there's so much going on like with the animation that if you just play from back here, like you'll never see it, you'll never appreciate it. You know, they take the time and effort to put these things into the game that 80% of the player base never sees, never acknowledges, never knows about. But they put them in anyway. And that's pretty amazing. Yeah, this Drew, it is. Yeah, most of my level ups are just old world level ups. We realized that we did a lot of Alliance, but we haven't gone back and like seen the Horde stuff. So yeah, this is gonna be a Kalimdor Horde side, level up. We're going to do Barrens. We're going to do probably Desolace, Feralus, maybe Winterspring. Fellwood. I do kind of want to check out Fellwood. That had some cool stories going on in it. So yeah, there's like a handful of Kalimdor zones that I really want to see. Zones we're going to skip. Ashenvale. There's a big like faction conflict there. We're going to skip Ashenvale. We're going to skip Stone Talon because it's the same thing. There's a big faction conflict. We're going to focus on the places that kind of stayed evergreen after the Cataclysm. Places where the faction conflict isn't really like a big issue. So yeah, that's the plan for this one. We get Earth Shock here. Are we going to use Earth Shock? Instantly shocks the target, causing nature damage. Okay. I'm not sure how often we'll be using that. Oh, okay, wait. Do we... Oh, we have a resource now. Did we just unlock our resource, or was this here the whole time and I wasn't noticing it? Because, yeah, I didn't... This is called Maelstrom, right? Is that what it's called? Interestingly, this doesn't... Oh, yeah, 60 Maelstrom. There it is. Yeah, 60 Maelstrom. Okay, cool. Let's go back this way. We need a couple more Marines, and then we're good. Okay, we have no Marines. We have some sharpshooters, but I haven't seen any Marines. Can I show the chain lightning? Yeah, definitely. I guess I'd have to pull at least 2 enemies to show it properly, but we'll take a look at it. Maybe we can round up some of these guys. I swear I should have a quest for these guys. But so far we don't. Let's round up these 2. And let's see if we can... Well, getting them closer together would be good. That was not a good view of that. And I also don't think they're close enough for it to actually chain. Oh, it did chain. It's subtle. It's not as cool as Lava Burst. It just looks like a chaining lightning bolt, basically. Yeah, it looks exactly like you would expect. Does Flame Shock queuing work while casting Lava Burst? Well, you're gonna Flame Shock first. Because you're going to Flame Shock. Lava Burst is going to deal an automatic crit if the target is affected by Flame Shock. So you're not gonna Flame Shock and then Lava Burst. You're not gonna Lava Burst then Flame Shock. You're gonna Flame Shock and then Lava Burst. Yeah, like the way I understand is that anything that has a Flame Shock on it, Lava Burst is gonna automatically crit. But no, I can't queue it up because they're both on the global cooldown. So once I Flame Shock, I have to wait for the global cooldown to go to do my Lava Burst. Alright, I'm gonna stop killing these guys because I swear at some point we're gonna get a quest. Yeah, we can't... I don't think we can do it while it's in the air because I think they're both on the global cooldown. Okay, let me see. Yeah, no. No. Yeah, it has to be on there first. You think so? You think if there's range you can do that? Okay, let's see. Let's try it. I don't know. That didn't look like a crit. Yeah, I don't know. That didn't look like a crit to me. Was that a crit? How can I, yeah, like, I don't know if that was... Oh, yeah, it was. Okay. So maybe it is working. Let's try it again. Okay. Yeah, with the travel distance, we can. We have to be far away. Yeah, and I'm so often, like, very close. Okay, well, that's really cool, actually. That's really good to know. Thank you. Yeah, I would rather do it that way, and that way, like, because when you do Flame Shock first, you're pulling the enemy towards you. Whereas if we do it like this, then they just are gonna die. Like, that's good. Yeah, that's working consistently. Very cool. Thank you, guys. So I can switch these two back around on my bar. To be fair, I probably would have never thought of that on my own. I probably would have never figured that out. So, it's good to know now. Because now I can start building the muscle memory the correct way. Got some more tendies. We definitely want all the tendies. Now we're going after gnomish tools. Am I losing my mind? Is there not a quest for, Oh, here we go. We got the elemental quest now. Okay, good. Oh, okay, and now I see this quest on the map here. Loss reduction. Okay, let's go grab that. That should be the one to rescue the peons. Now we're good. Actually, before I do that, I need to step away from my PC for 1 second. I got a bio. I'll be right back. Alright, we are back. Colonel Boomer, man, that's a bummer. Your camping got rained out. We got lucky here. It was supposed to rain a lot more than it ended up raining. And I thought we were gonna have flooding. I had like flashbacks of like last year when my basement flooded. And we had like 2 inches of standing water that I had to shop vac out. Carry the full vacuum up the stairs multiple times, dump it out back in the yard, come back, shop vac again. Yeah, I was having some anxiety. I woke up at like 4 in the morning and I just heard it raining and raining and raining. I couldn't get back to sleep until I heard the rain like slow up. Only at that point could I convince myself that my basement was not going to like completely flood. I had picked my second computer. I'd already gotten my second computer off the ground. I had gotten my UPS, my battery backup off the ground. Like everything was like off the ground. and like just ready for my entire basement to flood again. But thankfully it didn't happen. It rained for like 15 hours, but it wasn't enough to flood. Yeah, it was the night of official hardcore launch. The night of official hardcore launch, my entire basement, where my office is at, where my wife's office is, like, it completely flooded. My street was so flooded that we were having to push cars out. Like, cars were trying to go down the street still because people are stupid. And they were just getting stuck. And so, like, I remember going out into the street to help push cars, and the water was past my knees. And I'm 6'4". So for the standing water in the road to be up past my knees, like, it was bad. And then, of course, I come back to the house after helping push people out of the water, and then I come downstairs and my basement's flooded. It was a shit show. Yeah, luckily, it's an unfinished basement, so there wasn't, like, a bunch of carpet or anything like that. It's concrete floors. So, like, the damage ultimately was minimal, but the damage to, like, my psyche... the damage to my soul was much greater, because now I have anxiety anytime it rains. Yeah, I'm 6'4". My kid's gonna be even taller than me. My kid's 9 years old and he's already like almost standing at my shoulder. So my kid's gonna end up being like 6'7", 6'8". I have him weightlifting with me now 3 days a week, so that by the time he's older, he's not like a string bean like I was. Because yeah, it sucks to be tall and skinny. So I'm trying to like save him from that fate, because he's going to be very, very tall. Some kind of genes. I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse. Like, I'm fine being 6'4". Like, I feel bad for him if he ends up being taller than that. Like, that's gonna be probably not awesome. It's probably not gonna be awesome. Bug Tussle, your son is 6'7". It's a pain finding him clothes. Oh, I understand. It's annoying to find clothes that fit me at 6'4" and being like relatively on the trim side. It's hard to find pants that are long enough where the waist is slim enough. Like, because I still wear like a 34 to 36 waist, but I need like a 36 length, and it's just hard to find those things. You have to shop tall sizes. And it's just like, you can't just go to a store and like buy some clothes. That you have to shop online. That's the pain in the butt about it. Like, you can't just go somewhere and find clothes that fit you. It doesn't happen. So like, any shopping you do, basically what I do is like, I find a brand and a type of clothing that fits me well, and I order multiples of that in different colors if I can. So like, I'll find a pair of slacks that fit me well, and I'll just buy like 4 or 5 of those. I'll find some sweatpants that fit me well, and I'll just buy 4 or 5 of those. And like, that's how I've kind of had to do it. I've had to find like the clothes that fit me well, because it's rare, and then I just buy a bunch of that. And that becomes my wardrobe. Yeah, yeah, you can't fit into slim sizes when you have any kind of leg muscles, right? Like, I ran into that problem with my jeans. Like, the jeans that were fitting me for a while, they ultimately just got like too tight around my legs. To the point where like, I can kind of still fit into them, but it's almost inappropriate for me to wear them in public. We need a couple of sailors. One more, or injured grunts, rather. One more injured grunt. I think we got all the gnomish tools we need, so we should be good there. Yeah, like being tall is not always a good thing. Like growing up, it just makes you stand out. Like being really tall simply makes you stand out, which depending on like your situation and your personality could be a good thing or a bad thing. For me, like being tall was always a bad thing because, like I said, it makes you stand out. It draws attention to you, no matter what. That otherwise you might not want that attention. So it's definitely not just a blessing. Especially when you're just like a skinny person. Like when I was like 19 or 20, I was 6'4" and I only weighed 150 pounds. I was incredibly skinny. And being tall and incredibly skinny is not a good combination for like your health or for really like anything else in life. I always wanted to be a little bit shorter, especially when I was like really serious into weightlifting. When I was like really into weightlifting, I often wish that I was like just a few inches shorter. It would have made a lot of things easier. Like basically every lift gets a little bit easier if you're a little bit shorter than 6'4". Like squats, deadlifts, curls, like everything gets a little bit easier when you're just not 6'4". It makes some things like more challenging. Do I want to go north and go after the spell? I think I have to go this way to get there. I don't think I can take the road. We have to go around the road. Do I have a six-pack? No, probably not. I mean, if I flex, I do. Yeah. If I flex, I have ab muscles. I'm not Ryan Reynolds. Like if I'm just at rest, then my stomach looks normal. But if I were to flex as hard as I can, yeah, probably. Like you'd probably see some muscle definition. Yeah, 6'11" used to get picked on at school. Yeah, especially like, you know, if I was the size that I am now, I wouldn't have gotten picked on. But being really tall and really skinny, like it's really easy to pick on a tall, skinny kid. $5-1, start lifting. Yeah, like start lifting because like squats and deadlifts, like you're gonna have such an easier time with squats and deadlifts, like the core lifts, than someone who's taller. Like when you're taller, you really have to worry about injuring your back. You have to be really careful about your form, and it's just like it's so much easier to like injure yourself. And if you're shorter, you just have a easier time doing those like core lifts, mainly squats, deadlifts, stuff like that. My goal for my kid is like he'll have some kind of like muscles on his bones by the time he's 6'8". And then people won't fuck with him, you know, the way people fucked with me as a kid. they'll just respect him, and they'll probably leave him alone. Six foot and 210? You're 6 foot and 210. That's not bad. I mean, it depends on where the weight is. Yeah, like 6 foot 210. But like I'm trying to get back up in weight. Like right now, I'm only like 205. My ideal weight would be like 220. My goal is to get back up to 220. which was the heaviest that I ever was. Like back when I was like in my day where like I really super focused on weightlifting and eating and gaining weight. Like I was 220, and I would very much like to get back to that point at some point. No, it's surprising how much people leave you alone once you're over 6 feet and you have any kind of visible muscle definition. People tend to just leave you alone. You still obviously like really stand out, but you stand out in a way that it's like it's kind of okay for you to stand out. Yeah, but you have a good base. If you're 6 foot and you're 210, and you think a little bit of it is unhealthy weight, like you have a good base to like start building muscle though. Like and what'll happen is like you'll probably initially like gain 5 pounds because it'll be muscle mass that you're gaining, but then eventually like if you're working out consistently, different from cardio. When you weight lift, your muscles burn calories for 24 hours after the lift. Whereas when you focus on cardio, you're really only burning calories while you're doing the cardio. So like I always encourage people who want to lose a little bit of weight, like you don't bother running all the time, don't do a bunch of elliptical crap, like start a weightlifting regimen. Because muscle is going to continue to burn fat for like time after the workout. And cardio doesn't. And like it's good to work cardio in, but do cardio as either a warm-up or do some cardio as an ender, but don't focus your whole workouts on cardio. Like weightlifting is the way to go, even if you want to lose weight. Even though in the beginning people they gain a little bit of weight and they get discouraged, but what's happening there is like you're gaining some muscle because you're waking your muscles up, and eventually those muscles are going to start devouring fat cells. When I think about my journey, like I kind of, it's always like the grass is greener on the other side type of thing. But going from being someone who weighed 150 pounds, I often think it would have been easier for me to reach my goals if I had started as a heavier person than it was like I had to gain like 60 pounds of muscle mass. And I feel like, I don't know, it's hard either way, whether you're trying to lose weight or gain weight. It's a challenge on both sides of it. Do I use a home gym or do I go someplace? Throughout my life, I've gone to different gyms. Right now, I just work out at home. But yeah, like in my heyday, I went to the gym all the time. And I go through phases. Like sometimes I'll spend a year going to the gym and then I'll spend a year at home. Sometimes I'll do 6 months at the gym, 6 months at home. The biggest reason why I stopped going to the gym, honestly, is that like once I go to the gym too consistently, and this happened to me like a year and a half ago, like people start to talk to you. Like people see you every day and they like start to try to talk to you every day, and like I'm not a social person and I don't go to the gym to socialize, but I'm also not a very rude person in public. I try to be polite to people, so if someone comes up and like they ask me a question and they introduce themselves, like I will talk to them. And that's like my biggest mistake, because then after that, then I have a person who wants to talk to me every single time I go. So what ended my last stint at the gym was that like I had a couple people who were just talking to me every day. We were going at the same times and they were talking to me every day, and I just kind of like, I got tired of it. And I went back to working out at home. And primarily I do that. There are some days we take my son to the fitness center where he can swim laps, and on those days I will go upstairs to the gym and I will do some stuff at the gym upstairs. But most of my workouts, I just do them at home. Talking is the worst. It kind of is, like at the gym especially, like, and it's always surprising to me because like I'm not a very pleasant looking person, and I'm probably less pleasant when I'm sweaty and lifting and I'm disgruntled. But people still come up and they'll ask me stuff. They'll still come up and talk to me like, hey man, how do you do this? Hey man, how do you get your shoulders so big? Like, people are just like, there are people out there who are extroverts, and those people thrive by talking to other humans. And like, it's when you're polite to those people and you engage them for any length of time, they think that you are a fellow extrovert, and they're like, oh, this is a person that I can talk to every day. And it's like, once that happens, you are that person's like talk to person. They're gonna stop in and talk to you every single day. And that's just like, that's not really why I'm there. And I always have earbuds in and everything, and people will come up to you, your earbuds are in, you laboriously take your earbuds out, you talk to them, you put your earbuds back in. Headphones and hoodie. Yeah, it doesn't work for me, John. Like, it doesn't work. I always have earbuds in. Sometimes I have earbuds in and I'm not even playing music, I just leave them in so I look like I'm not going to be talking to people, and it doesn't work. I don't know why. It doesn't work. What realm is this? This is Storm Rage, which is a US East realm. If you're someone that needs the help, yeah, then it could be a benefit to you. I'm the person that people are asking me things as if I have all the answers. They want to know everything. And like, always what I come back to is like, and the problem I have about giving advice is like, everybody's body is very different, and it depending on what your goals are and what your body's like is going to depend on what's going to work for you. So I'm like, people always want advice on how to do certain things, and it's like, ultimately, like, it's going to vary from person to person, and I'm like, I'm never like super comfortable like giving people fitness advice, except in like vague generalities. I don't mind giving like general advice, but people always want like specific advice. How do you work out this part of your body? How do you do that? And it's like, it's kind of different. It's different for everybody. All right, besides chasing herbs, I guess I should head back to town. And also, I should set my Hearthstone somewhere. It'd be nice to have a Hearthstone set. Yeah, I got to start going back to a gym pretty soon. I got my diet's back on track now. So thanks to my wife, like, meal prepping for me and making me like snack packs and stuff like that, my diet is finally back in a place where I could actually put on weight. I went from 193 to 205 in like a couple of weeks, and that was nice. And now I'm kind of stuck at like 205. And I think the next step is to find a place where I can go back to lifting heavier for like my core workouts. I need a place to lift heavier on bench press, squats, and deadlifts. Like, everything else I can do heavy at home. I can do shoulders heavy, I can do biceps, triceps, like everything else I can do heavy at home. But like the big muscle groups, chest, legs, lower back, like I need the heavier weights. So I think it's probably time soon. I think I'll probably wait until like maybe when summer kind of winds down and it's not as hot out every morning and I want to wake up early. Like maybe that'll be a good time for me to head back to a gym and like get into a routine of waking up a lot earlier and like going to the gym early. Because it's about time. It's been like a year and a half, almost 2 years since I've consistently gone to a gym. And I'm not going to get up to 220 pounds by working out at home, I don't think. Let's see. Let's go help some of these people that are like scattered about. Let's head over to this person. The hard thing about me giving advice too is like when people see me at the gym, they just see me and like I've been weightlifting for 19 years. Like, I've been lifting weights for longer than some adult humans have been alive. So it always feels like disingenuous to give people advice. It's like the only reason why I look the way I look is because I've been doing it for so long, not because I know anything, or because I'm like, not because I'm like especially determined or like very hardworking. Like, the only reason why I am the way that I am is simply because I've been doing it for 19 years. That's the other tough thing about like when people ask advice. I try to tell them like, I've been doing this for a long time. Like, even if I tell you something, it's not gonna like make a miraculous change in you anytime soon, because it's just like persistence is what has paid off. Like, not intensity, like, but just persistence. Like, just doing the stuff for 19 years. Realistically, like, if I were very dedicated and like, if I was like really into it and doing everything right, I probably would have met my goals already, you know? Yeah, consistency. Yeah, just continuing to do it. What's my max bench press? These days, not very much. I think the max that I ever bench pressed was about 300 pounds. Like, back when I was really trying for heavy weight, and like, my bench press never really got that high. Like, nowadays, I could probably bench press my body weight 3 times. Like, because I don't press heavy. That's one of the muscle groups that like I haven't been able to work it out heavy. So I could probably do my body weight 3 times. Like, I could probably do 205 3 times, and that'd probably be it. I'd love to get back to a point where I could like do heavy lifts for a little bit. What's your deadlift, bro? It is a very like bro question. Yeah. How much do you bench? Should be more concerned with how much I squat and deadlift, because those are more important muscle groups anyway. Right. Deadlift is the new bench press for bragging. Deadlift has always been more important than bench press, but like the bench press is like it's like a more obvious like muscle group, you know. Whereas like deadlift is never like as obvious, but like deadlift and squat are much more important than bench press. That's something that I didn't learn until like way too late in my life. It's like I also mainly focused on upper body stuff until like 6 or 7 years ago. I had been mainly focused on like upper body stuff and like did not work out the lower body nearly as much as I could have or should have. And it's just like it's a very easy thing to do, to just like neglect your lower body, but you really have to focus on your squats and your deadlift. Let's see, what does this guy want me to do? He wants me to just kill more people, I guess. These people are going to be farther to the west. See, now you guys got me thinking about working out, and it's an off day for me today. Today is an off day, but now my brain is getting triggered. Carnifexia, good evening to you. The Shaman is going good. Yeah, I'm liking the Shaman a lot. We're only level 12, but I already like the Shaman like 200% more than I liked the Hunter. The Hunter just like really wasn't doing anything for me. It wasn't checking any of the boxes, like it wasn't really doing much for me. This is a lot more fun. Like I'm a lot more into this. I think this is what we're gonna do like leading up to the War Within pre-patch. And we've got time walking next week too. We've got Warlords of Draenor time walking. So that's cool. Have I thought about going to Subway and buying a loaded footlong? Only every minute of every day that I'm awake. Yeah. Only all the time. Oh, I don't eat a lot of sweets. You couldn't influence me to eat sweets because I'm not a big like. I'm not a big eater of the sweets. I don't like pet classes. Yeah, it was the pet class, and then it was also just like the Hunter is kind of underwhelming. Like, honestly, let's be real. Like, I shoot a bow in real life. In a world where I could hurl fire and lightning, or I can shoot a bow, it's just like shooting the bow feels really just underwhelming to me, I guess. That's really what it is, and that's how I feel about Hunter in like basically all versions of the game. It's like, this is a game where I could literally hurl lightning and fire, so I'm gonna go do that. If I'm gonna be a ranged class, you know, then I'd rather do something that looks really awesome. And the bow, like the bow is just a person shooting a bow. It's not very, they try to make it fun to look at kind of, but it's not. They did the best with what they had. Just isn't for me. Alright, where are we off to now? Let's head this way and help this person. I really like the ground clutter effects in this area of the Barrens. These little like flowers or weeds or reed stalks or whatever they are. I really like this look. I also like how it like kind of sways in the breeze. Imagine one day when we can have a World of Warcraft where the trees actually sway in the wind a little bit. Kind of like The Witcher 3, when you're running around in The Witcher 3, like all the trees are kind of swaying. Imagine a tree that actually swayed like a tree might sway. That would be a cool addition to World of Warcraft. I had a troll following me? Oh, you were a troll following me. I hardly ever notice anything. Especially if like it's another player, I hardly ever notice anything. Will I try healing? Not in Mythic Plus. No, we tried healing on the Holy Priest, and what I decided was like healing just isn't fun for me in retail. It just isn't fun for me. And like I could probably learn to do it and get better at it, but ultimately I'd rather learn to do and get better at something that's fun. And I just don't have fun healing anymore. I used to have fun healing like back in the day, but not anymore, it seems. Kind of the same thing with tanking. Like, I used to have a lot of fun tanking, but these days I just kind of like to do DPS and leave it at that. We have to return the wayward Planestriders. How am I going to return them? Attack them and scare them to the other side. Okay, so we just attack them. And I guess we hope we don't kill them in one shot. And then they'll just run away. Okay, yeah, there we go. Perfect. That's easy enough. Alright, we are going after a named raptor, Scream Slash. Got a talent point. We have multiple talent points, which makes sense. That's on brand. I probably need to go into Astral Shift so I can get into other things. Ghost Wolf removes snares, increases movement speed, could be good. While transformed in a Ghost Wolf, you gain 5% movement speed, 5% damage reduction. That sounds like a PvP thing. Wind Shear is an interrupt. Let's go ahead and grab that. As far as the elemental tree, we can get a fire elemental, we can get a storm elemental. This stuns enemies. A gust of wind. Oh, it damages. No, it doesn't. It doesn't stun. I don't know why I thought it stunned. Each time you cast Lightning Bolt or Chain Lightning, the cast time of Lightning Bolt and Chain Lightning is reduced. That sounds really good for Elemental spec. While Fire Elemental is active, Flame Shock deals damage 33% faster, and newly applied Flame Shocks last 100% longer. I'd probably go Storm Elemental. Earthquake is an AoE. Your damaging critical strikes deal 250% damage instead of 2. Let's grab that first. Yeah, that sounds really good. That interrupt will go here. Alright. Alright, what do we want to do now? I guess we go up here, we help the last person. We could cross over here, but I think this one is going to take us deeper into the Barrens. And I think we might as well go ahead and finish up Durotar. It's a pretty decent area. So we could move on to the Barrens and start over there, but I think I'll go ahead and finish up most of Durotar. We might not 100% Durotar, I might move on to the Barrens eventually. But for now, I think we are good to stay here. And from what I understand, shamans don't use totems a lot anymore. It seems like totems are not a thing that you lay out in every fight. It seems like totems are maybe a thing like you use either situationally, or perhaps some of them are like short cooldowns. But yeah, it seems like gone are the days when like every fight you're laying down your totems, picking up your totems, laying down your totems, picking up your totems. That was always like the worst part of Shaman for me. I always loved the idea of a shaman being like a magical warrior type of deal, but then like having to lay my totems down and pick them up every fight was always really troublesome. Shaman feels really awesome anywhere in Kalimdor, fits the class fantasy. It feels really good, yeah. Yeah, this troll, like, I've been having a lot of fun. It feels good. It feels better, a lot better than the hunter did. Keopi, welcome, man. Yeah, it's been a long time. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Everything is good. I'm still here, so we're doing good. What does she need us to do? Oh, she needs some crocodile teeth. Okay, Kron will be remembered. Then we also have another quest back here. Maybe I should go check this one out before I do too much else. Yeah, what's this guy's deal? Oh, wait. This is a pet training thing. Yeah, it's a pet training thing. I don't need that. Bryson, I appreciate that, man. Thanks for saying so. Thanks for being here and hanging out with us. Now that we've got that bonus critical damage, we're probably going to be two-shotting stuff, like, pretty consistently. Oh, you know what we could do? We could queue up. Oh, you know what? I need to take Chromie time. Yeah, that's what I need to do. How close are we to Orgrimmar? We are, like, medium distance from Orgrimmar. I really do need to take Chromie time. That would be a good idea. Then we can do, like, some classic dungeons if we want to. I think right now we're stuck with, like, BFA dungeons, which is really weird. But it seems to be what we have access to in the LFG. Yeah, Battle for Azeroth normal. random BFA. I don't really have a big interest in doing any BFA dungeons. So I will wait until we've taken our time walking. Not only is the stream not about min-maxing, but I'm not even smart enough to min-max. Like I don't even have it in me. If I was ever going to be able to min-max, you'd think like 25 years of playing the game I would have got to that point. But yeah, it was never how I enjoyed the game. Do I play Cata Classic? Occasionally. Yeah, I leveled up a warrior. We did the raid once. And I'm not really interested in Cataclysm Classic. Cataclysm Classic was an expansion that I played a lot when it first came out. And I was in a great guild at the time. Up until Firelands. In Firelands, my guild kind of took a break and me and my buddy had to make a different guild. To raid Firelands. But yeah, I did all the content. I was like 25 at the time, so it's not a nostalgia thing for me. I have all my memories of Cataclysm. And I'm just not like... I'm not super excited to play Cata Classic because it was something that I played so much of when it first came out. I think Cataclysm is best for people who are like nostalgic for Cataclysm, like maybe it was your first expansion, maybe it was the first time you really got serious about the game. Or like maybe you didn't play Cataclysm, maybe you came into the game later on and Cataclysm is new to you. I think Cata is best for those types of people. It's not really good for people like me who like, you know, I started playing in vanilla, I played Cataclysm when it came out, I did the raids when they came out. It just isn't interesting or exciting to me. Now, Mist of Pandaria, I took a break from the game during Mist of Pandaria, so it's possible that maybe Mist of Pandaria, maybe that will excite me a little bit more than Cataclysm. But ultimately, it kind of gets to a point where it's not classic, and it's not new. And for me, like, if it's not actually classic, and it's not new, then it like diminishes my interest in it. I keep coming to this guy. You know, the cool thing about War Within is we're gonna have filters. We're gonna have filters, things are gonna have unique icons, so I will be able to go in and I will be able to turn off pet quests. Like we just won't have to see them. And then I'll stop running to them over and over again. And that'll be good. That will be good. We have another quest back here to turn in. Let's head this way. Alright, let's head north now. We have a couple of quests given by the goblin up here. You know what quest they removed that I remember from Cataclysm? There was a quest where we escorted that old lady. We escorted her to the south a ways. And she would like fly up into the air on like a funnel cloud and like kind of glide over. And they must have removed it at some point, because we definitely did not get that quest. I wonder when that happened. And like why they removed it. Did I create the profile photo illustration myself, or did someone create it for me? It's pixel art. Yeah, I created the pixels for it. I'm not a very good artist, but I'm not an artist at all, actually. I would love to know an artist who could like actually redo all of my channel art to like make it good. But I'm just stuck with what I was literally able just to piece together. Like MS Paint quality artwork. Yeah. Yeah, better artwork is one of those things I'd really like to have for the channel. It's part of the reason why I have like goals now to actually like help the channel grow, so that one day I can afford to pay an artist for like new artwork, for like I want like custom emotes for you guys that are channel specific, like things that happen often. Things like, you know, bags are full, like a backpack with like gear spilling out of it. I got a couple things in mind that I would love to do, but unfortunately I have no skill with art, and I don't know anybody. I don't have any friends, so I don't know any artists. Yeah, so yeah, custom emotes would be a great addition. Yeah, they would. and I have lots of ideas on like what I would want those custom emotes to be. I just need to eventually like meet somebody who wants to do that work for like a reasonable price that I can afford. And yeah, I'd also like some updated channel iconography. Like I basically like my artwork. I would just like it to be like better, just a higher quality of like a banner art and then like icon. Let's go this way. Yeah, one day it'll happen. One day. I've had a few people like email me like about it, like a couple times in the past. People have been like, hey, are you interested in like this or that artwork? And like, I don't know. I just haven't really had the money to pay people. That's been the biggest. Because yeah, I've had a few people interested, but nothing I felt comfortable like really following up on. Because I don't even really know like what the going rates are. Like how much would one pay for like, let's say I want like 5 or 6 emotes. And like a new channel icon. Like how much would one pay for that? I have no idea. I would have to do some serious... I guess I could just ask a person and they could tell me what their going rate is, but I would kind of like to understand like the going rates that are average. And I just don't know where I would even like find that information. We need one more sack. What's my favorite starting zone? The Blood Elf starting zones. Eversong Woods. It's probably one of the best zones they've ever made. Top notch for ambience, for music. The questing is really good, flows really well. How would I compare that to the High Elf starting zone? It's still better. The High Elf starting zone is really awesome, especially for something that's like fan-made that takes place in vanilla. Like the High Elf starting zone is pretty great. The Blood Elf starting zone is still better. Yep, so far. Like it definitely ranks up there, especially for like fan-made stuff. You know, it's for the fact that like it wasn't made by Blizzard. It's absolutely incredible. Music is really good. It has really awesome vibes. The stories are good. But I still like the Blood Elf zone. But keep in mind, like part of the Blood Elf zone for me is nostalgia. Like part of my enjoyment of it is like nostalgia, which obviously like the High Elf zone doesn't really have for me, with it being new. Alright, while we are relatively nearby, let's head to Orgrimmar. We need to talk to Chromie and get ourselves set up with Cataclysm Time Walking. And then I also need to find the mining trainer. I would like to be doing mining and herbalism to kind of round up our exploration experience. Healing Stream Totem, probably never going to use it. Chain Heal, probably never going to use it. I probably should look up a build eventually. Increase Leech by 2%, reduce damage taken. This seems really good. Reduce cooldown of Astral Shift. Astral Shift, I don't even have Astral Shift yet, so I don't really know how pertinent that is. I'm going to go here for now. What's my opinion of Azure Mist? It's a really great zone. Yeah, I like Azure Mist a lot. A lot of people don't like Azure Mist, but I actually really enjoy it. It has a really nice forest vibe. The music is pretty good. I don't care for the Draenei very much. Like overall, the Draenei are not really my favorite race, but they're not my least favorite. But I have always enjoyed my time in Azure Mist. What am I looking at here? Oh, some kind of Warcraft Rumble thing. Okay, we need mining trainer. That's what we need. Let's talk to a guard. And then I need to figure out where Chromie's at. Let's see. Oh, Chromie's marked by her little icon. So Chromie is in the opposite direction. Okay, that's great. Yeah, she's just in the complete opposite direction that I need to go for mining. It's possible that I just haven't played like a class race combination that really works for the Draenei. That could be a part of the problem. You know, I did my Draenei Shaman. I have my Draenei Enhancement Shaman. And, like, the Draenei Enhancement Shaman, like, never really did anything for me. And I struggle to think, like, what class fits the Draenei best. I almost feel like the answer is Paladin. I almost feel like Draenei Paladin actually kind of works best. Maybe like I like my Eridar Death Knight. In Pandaria Remix, I did an Eridar, a red skin Draenei Death Knight, and that kind of worked well. I kind of enjoyed that. Unfortunately, with that character being stuck in Remix, I abandoned it. Because I was never going to get to play it in Season 4. Shaman really fits. You would think that the Shaman really fits Draenei. Yeah, you'd think that because they were the first Alliance race to be able to play Draenei, so you would think it was very fitting. But for some reason, I played that Enhancement Shaman quite a bit. It was a dwarf at first, and I hated how short the dwarf was because the ground clutter and dragonflight went above my dwarf's head. So I switched it over to a Draenei. I was a blue Draenei at first, and I just never really felt right. You'd think that it would fit, it just didn't. Lightforged Paladin? Yeah, that would make sense, like, aesthetically. Oh god, can we transmog anything yet? Sort of. I don't know if I have a lot of mail. We don't really have a lot of good options. See, this is the same thing, like I hardly ever play a character that wears mail, and so like I don't have a lot of good mail transmog. We don't really have anything that's good. Yeah, we won't worry about it right now. No mogs? Yeah, like, I don't know. You can't really, like, I don't really transmog a lot leveling up anyway, because I don't have the transmog mount. And so, like, every time I equip a new piece of gear, like, that's it, the transmog is broken. So, like, while I level up, I don't end up transmogging a lot. I need to find my way over to Chromie. Not really sure the best way to get there. This was not the best way to get there. A bra with chains will do. That's like basically every single outfit on this character is a bra with chains. Yep. Nothing more comfortable than some chains, like just around your cleavage, I've heard. Alright, we are doing Cataclysm. Do I prefer Orgrimmar's classic layout or retails? I don't. It doesn't really matter to me either way, because I've never really liked Orgrimmar at all as a city, if I'm being honest. You know, my favorite city on the Horde side is Silvermoon City. I always thought that, like, it was better, the layout was better, it's a prettier place to be, and I never understood why we couldn't just, like, change the main capital to Silvermoon. Because I've never really liked Orgrimmar. It's one of the detriments for me of playing on Horde side, is like Alliance side, I love Stormwind. Orgrimmar, like, I could take it or leave it, in either of its incarnations. I kind of like the older version better because there were parts of it that were dark, like you go into the drag and it was kind of dark and the windows were lit up. But it's kind of the same to me either way. Ironforge is okay, I like dwarf architecture. Do I like goblins? Nah, not really. Not the way they do goblins in WoW. Like, I don't really appreciate that goblins are just like, they're just satire. They're just there for comic relief to, like, complain about capitalism and complain about corporations, and I don't really think any of the humor is funny. I don't think it's like, I don't even think it's expressing anything of value. And I really wish they'd have just made goblins a little bit grittier and just like made them like, just let them be themselves. And like head and use them to like be the butt of all jokes, basically. So no, unfortunately, like I don't really... I'm excited to try out goblins in Turtle WoW. Because they have their own like unique starting area. I'm hoping that they handle like goblins a little bit differently in Turtle WoW than how they handled them in an actual Cataclysm. That would be cool. Goblin Paladin. If they can be priests, they should be able to be paladins. That's how I see it. Alright guys, unfortunately, it's 3 o'clock, it's past 3 o'clock, and I am out of time for today. So I am going to have to get going. I really appreciate all of you guys being here, hanging out with me, and letting me play yet another playthrough of Retail WoW. I'm digging this character a lot more than I was digging the Hunter. So I think like we'll focus on this for a while. We got Time Walking next week. We've got pre-patch like tentatively on the 23rd, so that could be fun to check out. And yeah, thank you guys again. I really appreciate all the support. As always, take care of yourselves out there and take care of each other. And we will see you back in Azeroth again very soon.